Hey friends, Dustin here. You're watching the Life of Lynn channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Today we are on an epic mission to go rescue a 1977 Winnebago Chieftain that's been abandoned in a barn for the last 20 years. And from the 3 pictures I've seen of this thing, it looks mint. Unfortunately, it hasn't run in 20 years. So myself and Eric here are on our way to go pick this thing up, get it running and driving so I can drive it 400 miles back home and rescue it. Say hi, Eric.
Hello, YouTube.
Yes, hello, YouTubers and YouTubes.
Yes. Hello, algorithm.
Hello, algorithm. Oh, yeah, drop a comment and a like for the algo, you know, what all those YouTubers say.
Yep. Do click all the buttons, please.
Click all the buttons. Anyway, so we're going to go pick this thing up. Interestingly enough, Eric and I, very first revival I ever did, saw in a 1974 Winnebago with him. And it was like 20 years ago.
Yeah, Dustin and I have known each other for a little bit now, and we picked up a 74 Winnebago. I don't remember why we bought it together, but we did, and we tried to turn it into a hot rod.
Yeah, we gutted it, and it also had a Chrysler 440 in it, and
we straight piped it.
Yep.
And that was at the beginning of Dustin's like video filming attempts back in the day. I believe we shared videos on platforms that no longer exist, but
Yeah.
there was a pretty good video of it doing donuts in a mall parking lot.
Yeah, we did do donuts in it because apparently when you hollow out a Winnebago with a big block in it that has like 30-year-old tires on it, they skid pretty well. Yeah.
They sure do.
So that thing was pretty fun. So it's pretty interesting that me and him are actually going up to pick up another one today. And this thing looks even nicer than the one we bought 20 years ago. So pretty excited. We're 3/4 of the way into our trip. We're in the middle of Wyoming right now. We got some ways to go. We're not really sure what we're getting into or how we're going to get this thing running and driving. I do know I have to yank it out of the shed. So
if it's been sitting for 20 years, I'm sure the gas in the tank is still good. And
it's fine.
None of the fuel lines are rotted at all.
The brakes are going to work, just the first step. No problems whatsoever. All right. When we get back to driving, I will see you guys when we get there. This is neat. There's some buildings, some houses. Oh, we need to be over here. We're going to go this way.
Cool looking church.
Yeah, that is neat. I got a bird statue up here.
And a stray dog.
Oh, they got a brick paved street in the middle. This isn't bad. Is that a brewery?
People do like alcohol.
Yep. Can't go wrong with booze. All right. Well, there's Rollins, Wyoming. That was all of it.
This place was stacked full of vehicles.
Really?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So he was building a whole little place out here.
Yeah. Yeah, this was going to be his retirement place.
Oh wow.
Come out here and work on vehicles.
Yeah, look at that. It's pretty straight.
Surprisingly good shape. In Colorado, and he transferred to Vermont title law. Wow. And so there's a weird loophole where you don't actually need a title in certain.
This thing is super clean. It's dark in here, but it looks great. Tires got air.
I have no bill of sale. My brother had a building he bought out on the east end of town from a guy when he was really busy in the plumbing business. And this car was sitting in there. When he sold that building, he brought everything out here.
All right, let's take a peek at the inside. Oh, it's vintage. It is very vintage. Like it's all original in here, it looks like. This is like the twin sleeper, like the 2 fold down beds back here. It's like original fridge and everything, overhead AC. Like, that's not roof leak, that's solid. This is just like the wallpaper peeling off of the trim piece that goes across it. Wow, this is what looks like avocado green.
I do like the shag carpet around the toilet. That's nice.
That's classy. Oh, and then look at the like cloth roll-up window. I don't know what you call that material. Late
like
70s.
corduroy.
Yeah, I call it late 70s. It's dark in here, but look how big this is. This is huge. Oh, no.
I don't even see any rips in the upholstery. Even the driver's seat is looks like it's barely ever been used.
Oh yeah, this is nice.
Beautiful.
I like the.
I think you lucked out
croutons.
here.
Yeah, this is pretty nice. Well, I mean, let's not count our chickens before the eggs or whatever.
Yeah. Let's not put all our chickens in a basket.
We still got a 440 to get running. It's been sitting for at least 15 years. So, all right. Well,
You want to get pulled out into the sunshine
Yeah,
and
so we can
start digging into some stuff?
okay. Seems like a plan to me.
Step 1A is complete. Now we need step 1B.
Yeah. Now we're on 1B. How did your 6'6" ass fit up in the driver's seat trying to pull it out?
So getting my leg past here, it almost looks like, if you look at this, it almost looks like they've actually added a spacer block to move the steering further this way. So getting my leg through here is not exactly super comfortable.
He was a shorter fella.
Yeah.
So we need to unbolt that and put it back because that's probably going to be uncomfortable even for me.
Yeah. But you got brake pressure. I could feel them. I could slow you down. I don't think the parking brake actually works because I can't get it to lock in place.
But you had some brake pedal pressure.
Yeah,
all
I
right.
did have
So
brake pedal pressure.
We'll check those out. Eric just kind of pumped it up, and we suddenly have brakes in this thing, so we're able to pull it out into the daylight for the first time in years. And wow, vintage. Look at this thing.
First time outside in 15 years.
Yeah, it's a time capsule in here. It's amazing how good the seats are. And the guy wasn't lying. He said, it's not really anything wrong with it, just a little dust on the inside. And it's
just been sitting. That's all.
it's been sitting.
Oh, see, now I'm stuck.
It looks and feels pretty solid. I mean, this used to have wallpaper that got peeled off for sure. But
Ooh, there's no batteries in the smoke detector, though.
oh, shit.
I don't like that.
Let's return it. The roof is actually pretty nice. This is super solid. Original woods checkered curtains. Oh, carpet in the closet. That's where you want it. Oh, this is the best part. Yeah, pretty nice. Look at the vintage yellow plastic sinks.
Oh, score. Look, came with some vintage
Oh,
sunglasses. They're purple.
nice.
They're a little dusty, but
Sick aviators, bro.
yeah, I tried those on.
A little dirty, but I like the purple tint.
Yeah, it's nice. They're
Period-
very classy. They're
Period
pretty correct.
appropriate, yeah.
Look at this. Do these work? Do these not have holes? Oh, look at that. You know what's nice? These older mechanisms, they just feel so much more solid. This was an American-made product back in the day.
Yeah, all the pieces are metal.
Oh, yeah, the pieces are metal. They do the things. I forgot to get a battery while we were in town, so that's going to be an issue.
We could try and jumpstart it and just run it off the alternator.
Yeah, I do have 2 jumper packs.
We could try it.
Yeah. Well, that's a Chrysler 440. She's a big block. The size of the AC compressor on this thing. Huge. But there's some rope. It's a little concerning. Oh boy.
It's like baling wire.
Yep. Everything's fine.
We used to have a CB in it. We got CB antenna leads here.
Oh yeah. Too bad it still doesn't. Well, that looks pretty clean actually. Ooh, I can smell the bad fuel already. Oh, it looks pretty clean. All right. Big old 4-barrel on this thing. Oh, there's one little mouse house. Not too bad. That might have been a bird nest actually. All right. Well, I think we're gonna check fluids, start filling the tires, and try to get a battery on this and just see if we can get it to run-ish. If not, we're gonna have to drag it to town, I think.
Well, I mean, if we get the battery on it, if we get some voltage in the system, we'll be able to see how much fuel is in it, ideally.
Yeah, because there is
we might
multiple
need-
tanks and a fuel gauge. Hopefully,
we might need to drain it.
it's probably not good. From the smells I'm smelling up here, the fuel is probably
I
bad.
mean, I bet it still burns. It just won't burn well.
Oh, town is there. It's 3 miles. All right, so we did bring a bunch of stuff with us, but ideally we want to get to town so we can drain the fluids out. EPA
like a
container.
Yeah, like an EPA approved like waste disposal site.
Yeah, so we're gonna do that. Well, we threw a battery in it with a jumper pack out of the trailer because I forgot to bring one, and we're just gonna put some spray down it, see if it fires up, and check the gauges here.
Ideally, there's not that much fuel in it, so we can just dilute the bad gas with new gas. We won't have to drain very much.
I hear a clunk. Okay.
Hey, the motor's not seized.
Nope. The gauges didn't really do anything, but
maybe it's empty.
none of them moved.
It could be empty.
Could be empty. All right, well, let's see what happens. Yeah, that's good.
This is a well-ventilated area.
That sounds all right. Sounds like a Chrysler starter. Come on now.
There you go.
Oh yeah. That sounds like it wants to
She's
do
breaking
things.
loose.
Yep. Yeah.
I don't think you got any spark.
Okay. It sounded like it was going faster for a second there, so I was hopeful. But yeah, I don't think we have a spark. So, all right. Let's track that down. Let's pull the distributor cap and go from there. I wish these wires weren't so tight, though. Holy smokes, this won't go out of my way.
I know how we can test the coil to see if it's good.
My ribs already hurt, Eric. It's just some dust. Boy, it stinks.
Yeah, like starting fluid.
Yeah. I guess I'll get tools out now since we're here.
Yeah, why don't you get all the things that
Go
you need
get
for
some
fixing
tools
stuff?
and then we'll start working. What kind of fuel mileage does a 440 get?
At least like 4.
That's pretty good.
I think that's what 440 stands for. It's like 4 miles, 40 gallons or something.
3 volts. 3 is not enough. Jumped up to 4, 5, 6 volts. 7, 8, 9, 10. Why is it going up steadily?
Because it's got to charge that coil.
Now we're at 12 volts.
Give it a
That's
shot.
Super weird.
It's got good compression.
Yeah, it just went backwards. Okay, so this doesn't have points ignition. This is the first generation after points. So underneath the distributor is a magnetic pickup that goes to an early Chrysler digital ignition that's mounted on the back of the engine back here. It's a really bad spot. This probably gets really hot. These things are kind of notorious for failing.
Only when they get hot.
Yeah,
Which is why you mount it on the back side of the engine.
Yeah, right here where all the heat's blowing against it. So I would say we probably have a problem there. I just double checked our grounds. The ground seemed fine, but we're still only getting 3 volts at the coil. Probably going to be going through this ignition back here, but I'm not 100% sure yet. So we're going to trace some wires and figure it out. We'll get back to it. All right, a couple things. We've only got 8 volts coming up to this, but that's probably because I'm using a dead battery out of my trailer. So we need to go get a battery. This thing is only producing 3 volts to our coil, so I think we have problems with our digital ignition. So I think we're gonna go get a new one of these as well. So we're gonna go get those 2 things and swing back in. Luckily the parts store is only like 10 minutes away, so we're not too far from where we need to be. Eric found some really cool documents here. Like, look at this.
I found the factory warranty actually. Important owner info, service manual,
Like everything on this thing.
and the original owner's manual.
Yeah, and it's all like mint condition,
Like,
not chewed
nobody's
on by
ever even
mice.
opened it.
That's pretty neat.
Hey, for being what, like almost 50 years old, this book's in pretty good shape for sitting in a barn for.
Yeah, it really is. All right, onward and upward. We're going to the O'Reilly's. O'Reilly's. We're back from the auto parts store. Found some stuff that's close. They didn't have the exact 4-pin ignition module. So we bought the 5-pin. Hopefully there's not a difference. I mean, that basically looks the same. We're just not going to use that pin. Oh, we also bought a battery that has more than 8 volts, so that might help our situation. All right, we're going to throw this stuff in real quick and then jam some fuel down the carb and see what happens. I can smell fuel, so I think our fuel pump's working. So we've already pumped a bunch of the gross fuel into the carb. So that's probably going to ruin it later. Yeah, should be fine.
Watch out for flames if that thing.
Hey, run! A little noisy. It's working itself out, all right? It's fine. It's idling. Look at that, right off the rip. That's all it is, man. Junk ignition box. It's starting to quiet down a little bit, but it's just sitting here idling. After over 15 years in storage, this thing's back to life like that. So now it's time to check all the fluids and make sure nothing's on fire. Fill up these tires and try to get into town. I don't think there's a place that we can go buy tires right now because it's Saturday. Dodge dealership. Maybe the Dodge dealership and we can pay $800 a tire. It's running on the old fuel. So I think I'm going to put some Lucas in the fuel tank. And then we'll just top it off with some premium and see if we can flush this out. I should probably stop right now and put a fuel filter in line. Catch the big chunks in case we got rust in there. Well, look, I got power steering.
How's the brakes feel?
I can't get my legs under there. Oh, there's pedal there. I'm going to put it in gear real quick just to make sure the transmission works. So hold on a second. Reverse. Drive. Hey, move. I think it's just down on fluid. We'll put some fluid in the trans and hopefully that revitalizes it a little bit. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's healing itself. The fuel's real bad. It doesn't like running on it, but it's physically running. I'd be down a cylinder. It could just be the garbage fuel. Yeah, it's super slow. It's running though.
We could try and limp it into town right now. It is running.
Yeah. No blow-by or anything coming out of the top of the motor. I'm going to shut it down. We'll just check everything out real quick. Yeah, I want to get it to the car wash. We're going to have to wash all the flammable stuff off the top of the motor so it doesn't burst into flames in the drive. And there's a ton of transmission fluid that had leaked out of the front of the seal. So we'll go get some fluids for that too.
Get some extras in case you got to fill it up again halfway through.
Could happen. Okay, all right. We have a running 440 big block. Just had to swap out one thing. I like that. We're making progress. We'll just top everything off, fill up the tires the best we can right now, and try to limp this thing into town. It's gonna be fun. I wonder how much fuel it's gonna burn on the drive home.
A lot.
Yeah, it is. All right, guys, the 440 is running and idling. Not great, but we found a truck stop literally a mile down the road. So we're gonna head the other way on this like off-road dirt trail with this thing and get to the truck stop, get good fuel in it, and then take it to a semi-repair shop that actually has 17.5-inch tires, and they're open on Saturday. They're only gonna charge us $700. Yeah, that's more than what we just paid for this entire camper. But we need them to get home. So that's currently what we're gonna do. Eric's gonna jump in the truck, drive in front of me, in case we need to pull this thing out if it gets stuck. But everything's working. Let's see how it does. No reason to be concerned, but I couldn't breathe because of the smoke show going on inside here. Ugh. Apparently the valve covers might have leaked some oil directly onto the manifolds, because that's a smoke show in here. I'm gonna have to crack some vents somehow. Oh no! Oh, I broke the vintage window opener thing.
Is this a window? Or is that just an
Emergency exit. In case the engine's on fire.
It is.
It is. She's down on power, probably because of the old fuel. It feels like it's firing on 6 of the 8 cylinders, and they're not very strong. Oh yeah, there we go. Now I got some ventilation. Hey, we didn't need to go buy tires. There's one right there. Little sketchy. This thing's super down on power. I can't slow down. But I gotta try to avoid these giant dips in here. Go, go. Ah! Oh man. Felt like she was gonna tip over. So, it's really smoky. We gotta find a car wash and wash this thing off. This is horrible. Yeah. It tastes like bad. Oh, we need some fresh fuel and 2 more cylinders and less smoke. Oh, it's bad. This is not ideal. This is not ideal. Oh man, it stinks in here. We're making it. There's the truck stop over there. We just got to get to this exit. How's our temperature? Apparently that gauge doesn't work. Fuel? That don't work. It says we have oil pressure. I'm hoping that one works. And hopefully this thing starts running better, because it is running like hot garbage right now. And I am just getting smoked out in here. All right, well, I almost made it to the truck stop. And she ran out of power and died and backfired, so. There goes Eric in the truck. I'm in the way. I am under the overpass. I just gotta make it like that much further. Come on! It's not happy. Come on, just go up the hill. We're moving. Come on. All right, we made it to the fueling station, surprisingly, barely under its own power. I'm hoping that the fuel tank we need to fill is that one, because that looks better than that. We're gonna try. The pump's being stupid, so it's gone well. We're trying fresh fuel. I should probably put a filter on it. I'm gonna regret that. All right, it took about 23 gallons of fuel. So that tank didn't have a lot in it. Maybe, I don't know how big the tank is. Maybe 25, 30 gallon. Lots of fuel stabilizer, lots of fuel. I found the fuel filter underneath the front. Somebody's already swapped out, so we're gonna put in a new filter, a clear one. That way we can see what's going on. And see if we can get this thing fired back up. All right, got the fuel filter undone. Yeah, those are rusty chunks. Luckily, somebody put a fuel filter in there. It's bad. But it was doing its job. The other side is just kind of pasty colored. Yep, there we go, yellow. Okay, so I think that's plugged up. We're gonna swap that out, and then we're gonna go see if the automatic changeover might be stuck on the rusty tank on the back, or if the good tank is this actually nasty. Yikes. Good thing I brought a couple of these with me. Oh, there it goes. That's some pretty nasty stuff. Oh, that's bad.
What do you think?
It's bad.
Do you want to?
It's bad. Drives like a dream. Well, at least we're out of the way so we can work on it now. It is a great looking unit, but man, we got some problems. It's sounding a little better. It likes the fresh fuel. It still smells real bad out here, though. Alright, first of all, we're underneath the Winnebago, and the front of our tranny pan is damp, for sure. But that's not my concern right now. My concern right now is if this switch is stuck or anything, because I can't switch it. It's not showing any fuel levels for either tank. So I don't know if this switch is stuck. I'm pulling fuel from the tank that's clearly rusty, which is this line here. This upper line goes to our front tank, the one we just filled. So I'm going to bypass the twin tank system, put a fuel filter right here to join these two lines, and that should get us going. That's clean fuel. All right, it's arguably running better. It still feels like it's down a hole. As you can see, she's got the shakes. But it balances out. It's kind of starting to rev up. The fuel still smells pretty bad, but we got to clean out the other filter, the lines, the fuel pump, and the fuel bowls on the carburetor are all full of this junk. So we're just going to let it run for a little bit, pop the throttle every once in a while, see if it clears up. What do you think, Eric? Do we try to limp this thing home, or do we just put it on the trailer right now? Because if we try to get it home, we got to take it over and get tires put on like right now and spend $700. Or do we just stab it on the trailer? This thing weighs 13,000 pounds dry, and my trailer's only rated for about 7,500 pounds.
Well, if you're willing to risk the trailer, I think you could just limp this as far as it'll go and try and make it all the way there. And then if that doesn't work out, then load it on a trailer.
We always have the trailer as an option.
Rather than why start off with plan B, just see how far this thing makes it.
Yeah.
And then if all else fails, we could still load it on a trailer. We don't need to start off with that option.
That might save our trailer bearings and tires because this is way too much for the axles on there. But we also don't know if the headlights even work, and it's going to be dark in 3 hours.
Go check right now.
I'm going to go check the lights. Oh, headlight! Headlight! I don't think we have brake lights. All right. Update. The Winnebago is getting a tire right now. The one that's super dry rotted and bad, we're getting replaced. It's still not running right. We played with the timing a little bit, that helped. We got the fuel system figured out and running clean gas now, that helped. It's up to about 40 horsepower. Not enough to move that thing faster than about 30 miles an hour down the highway. So we're gonna run to O'Reilly's, get at least some spark plugs for it. I forgot to bring a spark plug tester, so we've just kind of been playing it by ear, pulling wires off, listening to the motor. It's got spark, so I don't know, and it looks pretty healthy. I don't know if we got cracked porcelain on a plug or something down there. So they're doing the tire right now. We're gonna go get those parts, come back, and hopefully this thing's gonna be up like 2 cylinders, because right now it's like a V6.
I'd say it's like maybe 4 of those cylinders are right.
It's a V5. I guess we'll see. I really don't want to put this thing on the trailer. That's like my last resort, because A, it's gonna be really hard on the trailer, and B, that's not what we came here to do. So I have headlights.
I'll just promise not to rear end you.
Yeah, just promise not to hit me. And with no plates on it. Perfect. All right, we'll be back. Okay, guys, not an ideal situation. As you can see, the sun is setting in 30 minutes. Maybe not even, probably 20. We're still at this truck stop. We haven't even made it out of the truck stop. So we're gonna try to make it one exit down the road. And here's the deal with that. We already went to the tire place. They couldn't put the tires on because they said our rims were too narrow. So they weren't gonna fit. So we wasted a bunch of time there. And then we went to go do spark plugs, and we didn't have one of the spark plugs with us because this was here, supposedly getting tires put on it. And they gave us the wrong one. So we don't have plugs. We've got a barely running engine, and it's starting to get dark, and we don't have good tires. So we're gonna go make it that one exit down, which takes us into the main part of town. We're gonna drive up to a Maverick gas station there, see how it does. Okay, I'm gonna get on the road with my safety belt wherever that's at, because it's a little sketch. We have to drive down I-80 to get to our next exit. Wish us luck. Okay, we're on the part of the road that we died on earlier. Brakes are good. We're definitely down on power still. You know, we had at least 2 wet plugs, so we thought cleaning those up might fix it, but it still feels like it's a V6. All right, hard on the throttle. 15 miles an hour. We just got to make it one exit. It's up there. 20, 25. Luckily we're in a clearing. Definitely got some smoke coming after that. She's a smoke show. Didn't get the engine cover on, so it's a lot quieter in here at least. We got her up to 40. I'm gonna back out of the throttle and see if we'll grab another gear. All right, there's third gear. The smoke might be a nice warning for people behind us, you know, to be able to tell something's wrong. Well, and there she goes, boys and girls. The sun has set. We tried to put some air in the tires. They're sketch, guys. I don't like riding on stuff that is this dry rotted. Probably won't shoot a whole lot of video because I'm gonna have 2 hands on the wheel. It is running better. We're up to 35 miles an hour right now. And well, we're gonna get on the big road. Gee whiz. Hope the traffic's not too busy because we ain't gonna be going fast. I think I might have picked up another cylinder. I think we're running on 7 now. Feels like we're only down maybe 1. Oh yeah, power valves just opened up. We hit 40. We shifted into 3rd gear. It's actually pretty smooth. That's about as fast as I want to go with these tires, so even if she has more in her, I'm not going to push it. No weird noises yet. Traffic is flying by us, so that's a little sketch. Alright, we'll see how we do. Well, it's running and driving. It's actually going way faster than I wanted it to. So it's healing itself as I drive. Still quite a bit of smoke. That's going down a little bit. We made it out of town. We're on I-80. This is the Giant Sinclair refinery, I believe. Over there. A big rig coming by. Woo! Blow the doors down. Easy there, fella. I still don't have a fuel gauge. So, I don't know, we're gonna drive 50 miles, find a gas station, fill it up. And that way we can figure out our miles per gallon. That way we can figure out how far we can go on the maybe 25 gallon tank. Wish us luck. I think we got about 25 miles done. It is nighttime now. The headlights work, the gauge lights work, which is great. Ah. Yeah, it ain't fast, but it does appear to be fixing itself, which is interesting. I got cold. I had to put a coat on because the heater controls are stuck and the windows are open, so I don't die of carbon monoxide and smoke. So it's chilly. It's going to be a long drive home, that's for sure. Made it to our first gas stop. Since we don't have a fuel gauge, we're going to have to top this thing off and do math and see how far we can go on the tank. But the old girl's doing pretty good. All right, let's get fuel, check it over real quick, and then get back on the road. We still have like 3 hours to go just to get to Eric's house, and then I have to drive home, which might be tomorrow at the rate we're going. All right, lights. Okay. We figured we could probably do safely about 80 miles in this thing before refueling it. Onward and upward. Ignore the copyright music. The radio just suddenly started working, so that's neat. We stopped for fuel again. I'm getting 4.4 miles per gallon. Pretty decent. We're, another 100 miles or so away from our next stop, so we'll see what we can get done here. It's getting chilly. Got the jacket on. Okay, going up hills in the mountains. Not at strong suit. We're doing about 31 miles an hour. It downshifted to second gear. I have my foot all the way on the wood. And it's literally wood in here, so that's entertaining. Luckily, it's the 3-lane passing zone here, because this is a pretty good sized hill. Everything still looks good, even though I am beating on this thing right now. Can't wait till we get to the top of this hill. We kind of start getting out of the hilly stuff here pretty soon. Sit rep, we're a couple 100 miles into the trip. We've got about 35 miles left before we get to Eric's house. We are in Colorado again. It's almost 10 o'clock at night. I'm tired. That was a long day. And, things are going pretty decent. It made it.
Well, you're not home yet.
Oh, that's true. I'm not home yet. You're
We're
pretty much home.
real close to my home.
Yeah. It did it. Can you believe it? The first little leg was like 246 miles or something, I think. It was a pretty good jaunt for this thing. Because this morning, this was in a barn. And it hasn't run in years.
20.
Yeah. Dude, we drug it out. We got it cranking, and it wouldn't start. We went to the auto parts store to get new ignition components. They didn't have the right ones. We used the wrong ones. We got it running to the point where it would do about 12 miles an hour.
And it made a lot of smoke.
And we got it to the gas station, and we just started working on it, and it got better and better and better, and now it just... Dude, I was doing like 72 miles an hour for a while there. Like, that is ripping for a 3-speed with a big block in it. It's still a little smoky, but not as bad. Most of the smoke comes out of the front now, though.
A little dizzy.
Yeah, I am a little dizzy. I can't believe it did it. I just can't believe it. How much fuel? Oh, 16.6. That's much better.
For how many miles? Since the last stop?
I'll tell you. 99. Did we go up from 4.4?
You're damn near getting 6 miles to the gallon, bud.
Woo! It's ready to go.
This thing keeps getting better and better.
It's just fixing itself as you drive it.
Yeah.
Got the radio working now.
6 miles to the gallon.
6 miles to the gallon.
Of course, a lot of that was downhill.
Yeah, the last little bit was a lot faster.
So you get 6 miles to the gallon downhill.
Yeah, 6 miles to the gallon downhill. You can see the smoke coming out of the door. That's what I've been breathing for the last several hours. That's fun. We got a flag holder.
You do have a flag holder.
So we have the problem of where he lives.
It's about 100 miles from where you live.
About 100 miles from where I live.
And I've been driving.
Yeah, that truck with the trailer, and I really don't want to put this 13,000 pound RV on a trailer that's rated for 7,500 pounds. That doesn't make sense.
Sounds safe.
It's probably not safe. So driving this thing with that tire is not really that safe either, to be honest. Show the viewers how good the tire was for the last couple hundred miles.
It does have a nice split mark all the way around. And it's a little low.
Oh. Yeah, that got worse. We're both tired. We both have things to do tomorrow.
You do have your camper. You could stay in front of my house.
Yeah. That's why I leave it in the truck. I just sleep places.
Well, I mean, you're driving a camper.
Oh, we do have this one. Yeah. I mean, it's probably clean enough to sleep in.
Yeah,
I've
it
slept in
did
worse
look pretty
places.
nice. It did look pretty nice in there.
All right. I guess we'll figure out the next step and go from there. All right, it's dark. It is 11 o'clock at night. We made it to Fort Collins, Colorado. And here's the Winnebago. Now, I was going to stay the night here, but then tomorrow, we still got to figure out how to get a Winnebago and my truck and trailer home. And this thing is just too big, I think. I don't want to put it on there. So we've come up with a new plan. Our buddy Rich happens to be in town. He has a Dodge Charger. We're going to put the Dodge Charger on the trailer. Eric and Rich are going to jump in the truck, drive that, and follow me in this, my last 100 miles home. We will unload the Dodge Charger at my house, and they can boogie on back to town, and they'll be home by 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'll be unloading this and putting my stuff away by 1:30 or so. That's the current plan. I think she's got another 100 miles in her. All right, we decided to do the last 100 miles, and they're just going to turn and burn. Got a car loaded up in my car trailer, driving the Winnebago. Last 100 miles, let's go. All right, guys, I am exhausted. It's after 1 a.m. After working all day trying to get this thing going, and then this much driving, it's hard. I'm ready to be done. The moon. All right, interesting things that just happened that I didn't film because, well, I was in a panic to get things done. I'm roughly 4 miles from town, and I've had my foot buried in the throttle, and guess what? Ran out of gas. Sucked that entire tank dry. So, had to go buy 1 gallon gas cans because the only gas station that was open was 7-Eleven, and buy 2 of them, put 2 gallons in this thing, get it fired back up, and hopefully that's enough to go 4 miles to the gas station to get into town and fill it back up so I can finish going home finally, because it is 3 a.m. now. These guys still have to get back home, which is 2 hours behind me. Wild ride. It's been insane. We actually have to take the Charger off of the trailer, drive the Charger into town, and go get fuel. Yikes. I could have topped off right before we left Fort Collins, but decided that, this thing's been getting 6 miles to the gallon. We should have just enough to get to out here, and we didn't. So that's fun. Going a little easier on the throttle now. I'm trying to stay out of the vacuum secondaries and just coast these last 4 miles into town, and I'm going to call it a night because I am exhausted. This was a long day. Oh, home sweet home. My lake. This thing was a champion. This was a hero of today. But we got to give a big hand to the real heroes, which was Eric and Rich. Eric spent his entire day and night helping me get this thing, and Rich has spent his entire night coming to get Eric so they could go home tonight. And really appreciate those guys. This has been an operation, but I can't believe this turd made it. Let's go outside.
What?
Do you hate everything yet?
Oh, all of it.
Yeah, it's really late now. You're my personal hero of the day, by the way. Thank you.
Yeah, that's great.
No, that's great. But Rich is wide awake, so
Yeah.
you can take a little napsy
Morning.
poo. Good morning. It's morning time.
Puppy.
Well, friends, there you have it. I'm home. Got a couple hours of sleep last night, and it's the next day, so it's time to get back to work. Amazing. This machine was able to drive that far after sitting that long, especially with all the problems we had at the beginning. And I mean, we made it home on rusty fuel and bad tires in a very, very tired vintage 77 Winnebago Chieftain. And that 440, she just purred along. I mean, I hit 72 miles an hour in that thing, and it's it's not small. Guys, I need a comment down below. What am I going to do with this thing? This is actually a pretty cool motorhome. I think I'm going to keep this one. Definitely worth restoration, I think. And next episode, I'm going to dive into this thing and actually find out everything that's wrong with it. So we're going to go through the chassis side, figure out why we have a misfire and why it ran like garbage the whole time, but we still made it home. And then we're going to start testing out the interior stuff to make sure all that stuff works. So join me. Make sure you've subscribed so you guys can get the notifications for these videos. And you can join me on this journey. Huge shout out again to Eric and our buddy Rich for taking so much time to help me in this process of going and kitting this thing. Those guys got home about 5:30 in the morning. And that's a long day. This is a 24-hour revival. Took us almost exactly an entire day of straight work to get this thing running and back home. And I couldn't have done it without them or without you guys. So if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, please do it. Hit the like button. Do all the YouTubey things with the clicky clicks and the whatnots. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. God bless you. And we'll see you in the next episode.